The main part of pitching is to be able to be strategic and be a pitcher. What does that mean, being a better pitcher? There's a lot of pitchers out there that don't know how to pitch. They can throw the ball, they can throw a curveball, they don't know how to use it. What I see and what I'm sad about, pitchers have to look at their arm and they look at their coach in the dugout. What are we teaching these pitchers? How are they not able to stand on the mound, read the batter? She just swung and missed to this pitch. Her coach is telling her something. I want to listen to what the coach is telling, because if he's like, hey, swing at anything close, I'm going wider, man. How do I adapt to that? Those are all workouts that we can have. Welcome to the Weekly Dose. My name is Jamie Southern. I am the pitching coach for the Oregon State Beavers. I'm super excited. We start in a couple weeks. Can you imagine these players? They grow up playing year-round, which I don't think they should, but they do. They play fall, and then they play spring, and they play into summer, and they finally get to college, and they practice more than they play. So they practice all fall, they practice all January, they practice into February, and then they finally get to play. It's such this exciting time, and that's why I'm sad for you pitchers and players out there. You don't get to miss the game where you're excited to play. It's fun. It's these emotions that they haven't really ever had. No matter if you were a senior or a freshman in college, you get these butterflies. It's just an exciting time. Oh my gosh, am I gonna be good? Am I gonna still have it? To prepare these pitchers for their season, we have really worked hard this fall, fine-tuning some mechanics, working on spins. Each one of my pitchers has the weighted SpinDr ball. It helps them check their spin, make sure that it's on point, and the weighted ball really just gets them to use their fingers more and to get more rotation. We've worked heavily on being a better pitcher. What does that mean, being a better pitcher? There's a lot of pitchers out there that don't know how to pitch. They can throw the ball, they can throw a curveball, they don't know how to use it. That's what we focused on. We do tons of drills during their workouts to get them to start thinking. So we've talked this month about spin, mechanics, extra set of eyes just to be able to hear things differently. But I will tell you, the pitcher that I want on my team is the pitcher that knows how to get batters out. At the end of the season, when you're looking at your name and you say, oh wow, she's got 2.3 ERA, 180 strikeouts, nobody cares. Nobody says, oh, with flawless mechanics. Nobody cares about your mechanics. Nobody's scouting you saying she's got flawless mechanics. They care about being able to get the batters out so their team can win more. Now, mechanics are important. You have to have some non-negotiable mechanics to be able to spin the ball the right way, to have some speed. I'm not dissing mechanics. I'm just saying you can have that. And if you don't know how to use your pitches, you're just average. So if you had to pick something, I would pick knowing how to be a pitcher. I can name a handful of pitchers that have had, by the book, not good mechanics. You would say, oh my gosh, you should never keep your hips open. Danielle Laurie, her finish is unique, but she is so good. She's so good. I have yet to ask her. Maybe she'll answer if she sees this. But have people told her along her journey you shouldn't finish sideways with your hip, like your knee up, but she's getting all that weight to the front side. She knows how to have a strong resistance. She knows she can make the ball move. She can get batters out. You've seen some Florida pitchers. They're completely open and their arms are like flying like this, but they know how to get batters out. You've had an Arizona State pitcher who keeps her hips completely facing forward, belly button to the catcher, wins a World Series, knows how to get batters out. So when we talk about the importance of being a pitcher, they have great movement and they know how to use it. So in your pitching workouts, when you go to your lessons, what do you focus on? Oh, you focus on mechanics and your spin. In my opinion, I don't want to get all these haters out there. My opinion, if it's really important to be a pitcher and to know how to use what you have, how is that not the heavy part of your workout? How is that not the focus on some lessons, to just focus only on that part? Because what I see and what I'm sad about, pitchers have to look at their arm and they look at their coach in the dugout. They go from the coach to their arm to the pitch. And then they catch the ball back to the thing and they go turn around and then they look at their coach and they look at their arm. What are we teaching these pitchers? How are they not able to stand on the mound, read the batter? She just swung and missed at this pitch. Her coach is telling her something. I want to listen to what the coach is telling, because if he's like, hey, swing at anything close, I'm going wider, man. She's supposed to swing at anything close, so I'm going to go a little bit off because I think she's going to swing. Maybe she's made an adjustment in the batter's box and she's got moved up or moved back, or she's off the plate more, whatever. That tells me where I need to put my pitch. If I'm throwing her a curveball, but this time she's gotten closer toes to the line, I'm going to move my curveball off more. I'm sad for pitchers that they grow up and they get that taken away of how to be strategic and learning how to get the batters out. At Oregon State, they've grown up those same ways, and we have worked heavily on how to be a better pitcher, how to be strategic, how to focus on getting the batter out and less about balls and strikes with the umpire. We know what the zone is. We know they might have a preference of, ooh, they like outside more than inside. We get that. By the first inning, we have a feel, but that's not our focus. Our focus is how to get the batter to swing at our pitches and miss-hit it, or swing and miss, or give me a foul ball strike. That should be your focus. So we have to practice those. We have to practice, and we have to train our brain on how we think in between pitches, how we look at a certain batter and how we approach them, how we make adjustments throughout the game as the batters start to make adjustments. That is how you become a pitcher. The Duke pitcher, I would want her any day of the week on my team. She was calling her own game. She'd look down at her armband and she'd tell the catcher, and the catcher would look down and say, okay, a drop ball's coming. She knew how to get that batter out. That's who I want on my team. I don't want a robot. I don't want a robot. I want you to take control of your own game, but you have to practice it. And there's workouts that you can do during the week that will help you. I'm going to be honest and tell you how I grew up practicing. I grew up practicing at my neighborhood park with no rubber to push off of and no plate. Like, I never even pitched from a softball rubber growing up. My dad caught me on the bucket. We would go through our pitches, and we may be a little heavier on a rise ball if we're working on a rise or learning that pitch, but I just went through my pitches. And then at the end, we'd do 2-3 batters and we call it a day. Doesn't that sound familiar? It's probably how you guys practice. And I'm not saying that it's not good, because it got me better. I was a great pitcher, but I didn't utilize that time like I should have. I didn't put myself in as many game situations as I could have or should have. I want to encourage you to question, am I practicing like a game situation? It's hard to have a batter every time I practice, so we can't do that. So today I don't have live hitting or live pitching, so I'm going to go out and practice. Am I still being able to practice like a game? Am I putting my mind in these pressure situations, in these game-like situations? Can I visualize it? Can I imagine her standing up there? Can I imagine this umpire who is not giving me this area, but he's giving me this area? How do I adapt to that? Those are all workouts that we can have. Don't be average. You're practicing like everybody else. You have to practice harder than the game. So when you get in the game and it's tough, you're like, I did this on Tuesday. If you go to myspindoctor.com, we sell a workbook of 40 workouts. Some of them will help you mechanically figure out who you are as a pitcher. That helps you be strategic in a game. There's the workouts that we do at Oregon State to get you thinking like you're standing in the circle in a tough game. Your workouts will be better, hands down. I wish I had that. I wish I had more than just, hey, warm up your pitches, then do a few batters. Who's a big hitter? Okay, now a slapper. Okay, a lefty hitter. Done. Like, we do that. How many weeks do you practice that you do that? That you're wasting that time to be really intentional. It's super affordable. It'll get you thinking, because remember, it's the main part of pitching is to be able to be strategic and be a pitcher. If you have any other questions or any other ideas, you're like, oh, I love this workout, please let us know. Let's get pitchers better. Let's dominate the hitters. So I would love to hear them. I would love to hear them. So I can do them with my Oregon State pitchers, because I know that I've got them thinking a little bit more than they have, and I've challenged them to get out of their comfort zones, and their thinking is changing a little bit. So I will see you guys next week and let you know how we're doing maybe. All right, practice hard.